Alright guys, today I'll be reviewing Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit at Universal Studios Florida. Now, I'm sure most of you know that this ride's getting the axe in September of 2025, but I wanted to get this review out, one, to highlight what this ride experience was actually like, and two, if you are going out here before September, you can know what to expect with this ride. So without further ado, let's get right into this review. So to start off, let's talk about the presentation, and I will say this has one of the best presentations of any coaster. It looks absolutely massive in the skyline of Universal Studios. It's really not going to be the same walking up to this park without Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit in that skyline, and I know a lot of people are speculating about maybe an Intamin vertical LSM coaster coming here, and I don't think that's what's going on. I think we're looking at a drift coaster here, most likely themed to Fast and Furious. But either way, this was an iconic coaster. This ride is another one at Universal where you have to put everything in a locker before you even get in the queue, which is pretty unfortunate, but it's whatever. I had Fast Pass for this, so I only waited about 15 minutes anyway, but I will say if you're stuck in the main queue, you could be waiting a while because it does have a lower throughput than other major rides in the park. It's definitely not terrible, you still move through the line, but I definitely notice it's a lot slower than a ride like Hulk or Velocicoaster. The theming in this line is downright garbage for a Universal ride. I mean, you compare this to something like Hulk even, and it's no comparison. Now, the boarding process for this ride is possibly the most stressful of any ride ever, because not only do you have to get on the moving loading platform and get down in your seat, you're not only getting told what row to sit in, and you're getting told all this information really quickly, you also have to decide your song, and there's not many options anymore. There's only like 6 at this point on the main playlist, but if you're smart and you know the code to the secret playlist, oh my god, you have to hustle up there. I was really hustling trying to get my song in for the secret playlist. I don't remember the code, so I couldn't tell you, but I've always found it very odd that a ride themed to listening to music on a roller coaster hides the majority of the songs from the average guest. If you're an average guest, you're just going to see those 6 songs on there, and the only one that really looked good was Humble by Kendrick Lamar. The others just kind of looked eh. I wouldn't really listen to them personally, but there's a lot more on the secret playlist, and I know it used to be 30 songs on the main playlist, but unfortunately it's been reduced to 6. So let's get out of that station and start up the lift hill. This is one of the best lift hills in the world. It's a vertical lift hill, so it's really fun just leaning back, letting yourself go limp. And you also have the rings around you. But once you get to the top of that lift hill, you're going to be pretty disappointed to find a drop that is not beyond vertical. Yes, this is a really weird ride because it's got a vertical lift hill, but not a vertical drop or a beyond vertical drop. It's really strange, and unfortunately, it doesn't really work. The drop on this ride is okay. I was in the back car, and I didn't really get too much good airtime. I got some mild floater, but that's about it. After this, you're going to hit the non-inverting loop, and I thought this was definitely the best element of the ride. You got some pretty good laterals on this, nothing too special, and I was hoping to get airtime on the top, but unfortunately, there was no airtime to be found. And after this, you're going to pop into the first of many mid-course brake runs, and this is my main complaint on this ride. All the brake runs on this ride absolutely murder the pacing, alright? It is such a buzzkill, and I wouldn't find this to be too big of an issue, but it's got the music element to it, and you can't be listening to a hype song and then stopping every 5 seconds. It's just really annoying, and it should not be happening. Mauer definitely did not come up with the best design possible when designing this ride. So after this, you're going to drop out of the mid-course. Now, a lot of people say these drops out of the mid-courses give really good airtime. I only got weak floater on all of these, which was pretty unfortunate, but I guess maybe if the trims weren't hitting quite as hard, you could get some good airtime. But at least you get something. But anyways, after this first drop off the mid-course, you're going to round a pretty intense helix going through the old Ghostbusters building, and it's pretty cool. You get some okay forces on it. They're definitely not Panthurian or Goliath at over Georgia level, but you'll feel the positive G's a little bit here. You'll pop up into another mid-course, drop out of it, and then you're going to enter the first of many meandery sections in the back half. This first meandery section here doesn't do anything. you're just sort of weaving in and out gracefully, not really getting thrown around at all, which kind of sucks. And I do think the restraints are pretty good, so I don't think that's the issue. They're comfortable, and you can get laterals on that non-inverting loop, but it's just unfortunate that Mauer designed the ride to be so lackluster in the second half. After this, you're going to pop up into another mid-course, which is followed by another weak airtime-filled drop, followed by another meandery section doing absolutely nothing. There's a few little S-bends in this one, which I was hoping to get some airtime on, but unfortunately that did not happen on this. After that, you're going to go through another helix, and it looks like it should give some good positive Gs. It looks tight enough, but unfortunately, you feel exactly the same as you have before, just absolutely nothingness. After that, you're going to pop into one more mid-course brake run, and you're going to dive off of it, getting some more weak floater airtime, and you're going to hit a couple more S-hills, which don't really do anything again, before popping into the brakes. Now, I will note, in the front, I feel like this could have given some better airtime going into these mid-courses. I've heard of people getting ejector going into the mid-courses, which I can't really believe that, but okay, sure, maybe in the very front you get a little something going into those mid-courses, but still, it is not a good ride in terms of the actual layout. It is paced very poorly. It is one of the worst paced rides ever. I do like a few of the elements, such as that helix at the back section of the park, that non-inverting loop, the first drop's okay, and the rest of it's just forgettable. It's a really forgettable ride, which is pretty unfortunate. I feel like they want this to be something special. They want this to be on par with Hulk or Dueling Dragons, but it just wasn't. It was a failure, and I think if they went with B&M like they did with Hollywood Dream at Universal Studios Japan, they would have had much more success. But of course, B&M likes to play it safe. They don't want to deal with the tight, compact spaces. Leave that to Intamin and Mauer. And it looks like for the replacement, they are leaving it up to Intamin, which is a really smart move, because Skyrush is way, way, way better than Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit. Skyrush is a top 10 coaster for me, whereas Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit is not even a top 125 coaster for me. So for Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit's final score, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Overall, it's pretty much the definition of an average coaster. It looks really nice, it's got the cool music aspect to it, but unfortunately the execution is fairly poor, and it ends up being a pretty forgettable ride in the end. So that is my review of Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit at Universal Studios Florida. Let me know what you guys think of this ride down in the comments below. Will you actually miss it? Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.